Hello everyone, this is Godzilla Wolf 1, and we are back with the last of the Terrorcons, not counting Abominus himself, who technically, given how combiners work, would be considered a separate entity, even though he's formed by all 5 of them. But, that said, we are doing Hun-Gurrr, Voyager class figure, which kind of makes it hard to quantify him in my list of least favorite to most favorite, because I don't really consider it fair to compare a Voyager class figure to a deluxe class figure, because the whole cost and everything that goes into them is so completely different. But it's kind of a gray area. But let's get a look at his card real quick before we go into him, which is a pretty cool design. Like, I really do like that whole breathing fire thing that he's doing, like our fire lasers, which is really cool. His legs are actually a lot bigger than they actually are, which is kind of weird, but whatever. Terrorcon, Hun-Gurrr, Decepticon, obviously. I think that was also the case in G1 though, where these were like much bigger in the show than they were in the toy. He is Nexus Hun-Gurrr, forms a better Abominus with intelligence to guide his rage, which is actually genuinely terrifying when you consider what Abominus is. Because, well, basically, he is a feral raging beast, so if you put intelligence behind that, it could probably be pretty dang terrifying. But anyway, let's look at him. He is a two-headed dragon, as is traditional. And he is actually a pretty cool looking two-headed dragon. Like, I do like him. I think the necks maybe are a little long, and it would have been nice if there was some way to sort of shorten them. I mean, you can have them like that, but that really doesn't help. You can maybe kind of sort of shorten it using the double knee, which I guess helps a little bit, but it's no big deal. Nice internal molding though. Like, I guess internal molding. There actually is some internal molding, which is kind of interesting. Like, inside this joint here, there's even molding. So he's a very well molded figure. And I like all the little details on his front legs, which are relatively tiny compared to the rest of him. So all this detail is very welcome. More detail along the side. He's a very heavy retool of Combiner Wars Silverbolt, which is kind of interesting. Back legs also really nicely molded. There's even like molding in here to kind of give this layered armor effect, which I really like. He has a tail and back, which, little tail, but not bad. He has spikes along the back of his legs. Spikes along the back. He's a very spiky fellow, as one would expect. He also has a Prime Master and Titan Master pegs right here, so you can have one right on his back. I wouldn't though, because he would probably eat them. He even has like like molding here on the necks, which is really cool. You know, sticker here, which I think is actually the only sticker on his entire body, except for the Decepticon logos. Yeah, I actually think that is the only sticker, which is kind of interesting. But it's a very nicely molded sticker and very shiny. One detail I really like is like this overlaid armor look on his necks, which is really cool. I also like the heads, which kind of give me a T-Rex look, but also kind of make me think snake. And molded in teeth, what I'm assuming are gills, very nicely molded across the top. Like these little details. Oh wait, that's another sticker. Okay, he has another sticker right there. And he even has some molding in the inside of his mouth, which is really cool. So, very well molded figure. And also one thing that's really cool is, I just thought of something and then I forgot it. Alright, the way he's molded, he can actually look at himself, which is kind of really cool. But that also gets into articulation. The heads can move back and forth. Very well articulated heads, actually. Like, he can open his jaw all the way 180 degrees, which is kind of terrifying. But kind of goes the whole snake thing, I guess. The necks can move up that far, which means you can get, like, a pre-strike pose, which is one of my favorite things to do. Can rotate here, so you can just get full movement. Can go all the way out here. Of course, these are the robot mode legs, so this would be expected. And, you know, he can get in a lot of poses, and since he has 2 heads, he can look very, very menacing. And again, he can look at himself. Which makes no real sense for Hun-Gurrr because his heads are not sentient. He only has 1 consciousness, unlike Sinner Twin, whose heads are independent of each other. Well, whatever. His front legs can move a full 360, though that doesn't really accomplish much and stuff gets in the way if you don't have things aligned right. The hind legs can move full 360. They're ratcheted, which is nice. And they can move out on that joint, so you can get him a bit more. You can spread his hind legs a little bit to maybe give him a little bit more of a natural stance. Then you can move at this, which I'm not sure what you would call it in a leg. I know what it's his bicep swivel in robot mode, but I don't know what you call it here. Knee joint can move out that far. And you even get some articulation in the feet. You gotta cheat transformation a little bit, but you can actually do it. And you can actually do it both ways. So if you cheat transformation, you can get some ankle joints. And his tail, it's not supposed to move, but you can move it up and down, which in some cases does look good. Like, it does kind of look good when you have it straight out like that, or down like that, or maybe up a little bit. So it is an option. But overall, his heads are very well articulated. He has very well articulated heads. The rest, kind of brickish, because there's not much really you can do with it in this mode. And also, if you look at him from the back, from the top, he is clearly a robot just laying on his, like, laying down and doing a crab crawl. But let's not think about that right now and just move on to his accessories, which includes the prime armors, which in him are these 2 big feet, with a bit of a toe look and guns. And actually, they are really nicely molded. Like, I do give them credit. These are very nicely molded feet. Or, well, yeah, they are feet, but in this case they're supposed to be cannons of some sort. And they actually have quite a few pegs. Like, they have one on the bottom, one right here, a peg right there, and back there. So you can do a lot with these. Inferno can actually use these to make shoulder cannons, which is pretty cool. So I like these because they work better as weapons, and you can do a lot with them. In this mode, though, all you can really do is peg them on back here as sort of, you know, hip cannons, which is fine, but doesn't really do much for me. Their other purpose, however, is to hold this, the Terrorcon Enigma, which is just a repaint of every other Enigma, but you can put this as a core of one of the matrices that come with a leader, put them in any of the prime armors, which in this case he has 2 of them, so you can give him 2 Prime Masters or 2 Titan Masters, if you so choose, and you can also use this as a head for a Titan Master, even though it would have no neck. And look really, really disturbing. But yeah, that actually is kind of interesting, is a lot of the leaders can actually hold 3 of these at once, which is kind of cool. I mean, if you use Titan Master, he's just covered in faces, but maybe you like him to be covered in faces. Anyway, let's get on to transformation, which we're going into his torso mode first. And there's 2 reasons we're doing that. 1, it's the way I've been doing things. And 2, all that his transformation to robot mode consists of is basically standing him up and changing some stuff on his torso. So this is by far the more interesting of his transformations from beast mode. To start, you want to straighten these out and twist them around. And then unpeg them at that point and fold them back. You can do however you want to. You can fold them all the way up, however you choose to do it. It's completely your option. You do want to lock these into place at the knees, though, for stability purposes. Then you want to come up here and grab the heads, put them in all the way, like so. Twist them to the side, and then you just want to leave them like this for the moment. Just leave them like this. And then come back here, reach onto this middle spike of his back, and pull up and fold the Abominus head into place. And then you want to tab these 2 tabs on the inside of his legs into this slot, right? These slots right here. And I will warn you, this is kind of ridiculous, the amount of force required. It didn't look that hard, but that's probably because I might have actually damaged the pegs. I know those pegs are actually kind of prone to damage. Voltamatrix, I think, broke his actually on camera transforming it. So, but the thing is, they're not really needed, I don't feel. They help, and okay, that got them insecure. They help, but they're not really necessary. Next, you want to peg these pegs into right here, which can take a little bit of force. And then you want to take the legs and fold them up and peg them in to these slots on his shoulders, or on what are going to be Abominus's shoulders. Then you want to take the tail, fold it all the way up, and it will actually transform on the way up automatically because these spikes will poke out when this part folds into this spike right here. And then you want to take this part that was the underbelly of the dragon mode, unpeg it and fold it up, peg it in up here, port right there, peg right there. And this actually requires a fair amount of force. A lot of stuff on this thing requires a fair amount of force. Then lastly, you want to grab back here and fold up Abominus's antennae. And then you won't need to rise up my tripod because he got big. Yeah, he is actually a big guy. Well, he's a torso, so he kind of has to be. But yeah, I like this torso. I'll get more into it when we do Abominus himself, but it's overall a nice torso. And you can open this up, and this is where the Enigma will remain the rest of the review. You can take this and plug it into the chest, which Abominus is unique in this regard, in that from what I've seen, he's the only combiner that can do this. And completely close up with the Enigma inside, which is really cool. I like that. But anyway, we're running. My camera's running out of time, so let's get on to the next part. You want to basically just get him back partially into his, well, kind of almost all the way into beast mode. Then you want to take the dragon heads, unfold them once more, get them out of their home. And then open them all the way. Full. And that actually takes, it actually takes a little bit of force to get them out of there. Like, once they're inside of his own calves, they kind of take a little bit of force to actually get out. But then, stand him up. Take these, fold, and basically what, oh, and I just knocked my tripod around a little bit. You want to fold them up and then fold them in, and they'll go into these little cavities on the sides of his chest, and they just rest there. Then you want to get everything all sorted out here, and then you want to take these panels here, which actually, again, this guy has parts that take a considerable amount of force to get flipped around, and then you just want to fold them up to fill in the gap. I actually personally prefer to have them open because I think he looks better that way. But, not the official way. Fold down this, want to fold these up, and then basically just fold the claws to the back of his forearms. Like so. Then fold and then you want to take this whole chest piece, pull it forward, and flip out his robot mode head. Fold the chest back in, fold that down, and there you have your completed Hun-Gurrr in robot mode. And he looked pretty cool. Like, he's not 100% what G1 Hun-Gurrr looked like. I don't think he had the tail chest. That's more like the Transformers Prime way they did it for the combiner that they did in that one. But overall, I like him. And let's get a quick look at his head sculpt. I like having the tail as the chest, personally. Very nice head, very red, or kind of a magenta color with that yellow visor. Again, the Terrorcons all look so calm. They should probably be screaming. Very nice, bright, metallic Decepticon logos One of which actually kind of resembles a rub, one of the old rub signs, which I kind of like that little detail. And another interesting detail, if you grab the chest and fold it up, he actually does have the original Abominus chest in there. I mean, the original Hunger chest, which is kind of cool. And he looks very powerful. Like, this guy does look pretty powerful, which I do like. He's the leader of a group of Decepticons known for their brutality. He should look powerful. And not much new detail has been exposed because all this was basically in beast mode. Except the hands, like he has white hands. That's about it. So not much really to cover, except now he has a backpack that again has the Enigma in there, which is kind of nice that you can do that. You can take these and attach them to his forearms, which is where I feel they do the best, is in this mode. I feel they look best because they kind of work as shield/blasters, which I think is pretty cool. As for articulation, the necks have not changed their articulation. They still go forward, back, out, swivel, knee joint, very deep knee joint. And you can rock these back and forth and move the jaws independently, however you please. Very good articulation there. He gets full 360 in the arms. Goes out all the way. 90-degree elbow, though if you move it all the way, it locks. No, nothing in the wrist, except, you can kind of break transformation to pull things up a little bit if you want to. And the head gets a full 360 degrees. Can kind of look down and kind of turtle up. He can't really look up. And I'm pretty sure he's not supposed to be able to get down, and I just got something, I'll maybe have something misaligned. Yeah, I had something misaligned. He can't actually look down unless you break transformation. He can get a little up, but not much. And he actually does have a lot of ankle articulation because his ankles can move forward that far, back all the way, and even get an ankle tilt. So overall, he's a really cool figure, and he can also have 3 Prime Masters equipped at the same time, which is just something the Voyagers can do. Though he has the benefit of you can have one in his back without it messing with everything. Now, with only a few minutes remaining on my timer, and thus needing to go quickly, let's move him back, and hopefully he'll stand and get the entire gang in here. So there you have Ripper Snapper, Cutthroat, whose wings are making him a little difficult to get in frame, Center Twin over here, and Blot right there, who doesn't really want to fit in frame, and he's kind of being weird at getting him in frame. Let's get him kneeling. Yeah, that'll work. Yeah, he can kneel. So, yeah, that's our Terrorcons all together, and I think they make a really good team. They look really nice together, and I'm actually happy we got a official Terrorcon set out of Hasbro again. Because, again, these guys are some of my favorites. I really like them, and I like having all of them. So, anyway, I highly recommend this figure, and next week we will be reviewing Abominus, forming the Combiner, and showing what he can do. I hope you guys enjoyed this review. If you did, like, comment, and subscribe. Consider coming to my live streams, which will be Wednesday and Saturday, and I will also be posting a Deltarune video on Monday. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Like, comment, and subscribe. See you guys next time. Bye! I still don't have a catchphrase.